so what's your favorite thing about Canada? What he told me, like, totally surprised me. Good morning, everyone. It's fairly early on July 1st, Canada Day. I've just headed over to start some irrigation, and I've been thinking about how amazing it is that we live in such a wonderful place. Canada's an amazing place in the world to live. We've traveled quite a bit, but my first experience with traveling, I was 11 years old, and one of my best friends here in our little town was from Germany, and they lived in Germany part of the year, and we went. They invited me to come and be with them in Germany for part of the winter. So I was over there for 5 weeks. And for a little 11-year-old, that's a long time to be away from your family for the first time. But we had an amazing experience, just a wonderful time. And I remember being very surprised at how everybody, like when we would go to school and stuff, we actually did go to school and traveled around, but just how highly the country of Canada was regarded around Europe. Whenever anyone found out I was from Canada, that was a big deal, and they were always very complimentary of Canada and were happy to have a Canadian around them. So that was super interesting, to wondering why as a little kid that Canada had such a good reputation around the world. And it was absolutely assumed that I was a nice person and a good person because I came from Canada. And then in the last couple of years, we've started hiring extra people to work with us, our wonderful friends, and many of them are from the Philippines. And one of our friends that works with us here on the farm and helps us with the bees and stuff, we were on driving on a business trip to look at some equipment. And we were just asking him all kinds of questions about, the Philippines, and also, about what it was like for him growing up. And then at one point I asked him, I said, so what's your favorite thing about Canada? And they had been in Canada around a year. So they were very new to our country, and this was just their second job, was to start working for us. And they'd never owned a home yet, and any of those things, they were just getting started. Since now they own a home and stuff like that. But what he told me, like, totally surprised me. I didn't know if he was going to say that the roads are nice, or that or that the food, the food was affordable, or Alberta healthcare. I had no idea what he would say. And he said the thing that he loves most about Canada is that in Canada we're all equal. And that surprised me. That isn't, when you grow up in a place and some people have more money than other people, and some people struggle with things that other people don't struggle with. And they said in Canada, everybody lives in a house that's warm, and that the roof doesn't leak. At least from his very limited experience, he got to live, in a building that was safe and that didn't leak. And he'd lived further up north in Alberta. And he said everybody has a car. Everybody could get a car that and everybody's car has air conditioning, and everybody has food to eat. And we know that not everybody is, and I'm acutely aware that there are some people in our country that don't. But in general, compared to the developing world, in Canada, way more of us, our basic living conditions are safe and clean and dry, and it's very easy to, in general, to have a vehicle that drives. And so he just felt really grateful to be in Canada, even though he was just working at a fast food place until he started working for us. To feel like he was treated as equal, that's a big deal. And I'm just really glad that he felt like he was equal to the rest of us Canadians that have been here for many generations. And hopefully we could do a better job as a people of treating everybody like they're equally important in our society, and that every person is precious. I do love my snakes, and I love my antelope and all the animals on the farm and all the plants and all that stuff. But I don't love any of those things nearly as much as I love people, all the beautiful people, all of our friends that work with us on the ranch, but all the people in our country. There's just every single person is so precious, and hopefully that we in general can, anyway, I sure hope, and I hope, for me personally, it's obviously I hope everyone else will treat each other kindly, but I hope that I will have the sensitivity and the perspective that I'll always be good and kind to everybody, even those that are gonna never give me any advantage, and those that may cause me harm or try to make things rough for me, that I can keep the perspective and know that sometimes people are just hurting and they struggle, but that they're still incredibly precious and special, and that we always treat each other with respect. Anyway, I try, but I don't always do a very good job, and I want to do better. But anyway, Canada Day is a wonderful day to remember what an amazing place we live, and how beautiful people are, every single one of them, and just so happy and grateful this morning.